The Nerdgasm Talk podcast is brought to you by Spaces Philly. If you love podcasts, go to spacesphilly.com where you can check out Lulu and Pop, Both Sides, Turntables, Jump Thought Sober Tongue, and the Nerd Coalition's very own No Gimmicks Needed. Visit spacesphilly.com today. And now, feel the Nerdgasm.
Yep. And speaking of that, change the narrative brings me over to some of the best stuff that happened in 2020. Now, about people say best. What good happened in 2020? Good did happen if you look.
Listen, you don't even gotta look. Some of it was pretty in your face.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm gonna start off with a conversation that I know my wife can carry a little bit while I go check on something. Is a club quarantine.
I'd also like to add to that versus.
The versus.
Yeah, the versus is cool.
Yes.
There's one happening tonight, actually. It already happened, I think.
Because
E40 versus I can't think.
Too short. Blow the whistle.
Wait, what?
You didn't know about that?
I didn't. Okay.
It was the replacement.
That's an interesting. Okay.
It was the replacement for Keisha Cole and Ashanti because Ashanti unfortunately got COVID.
Oh.
Yeah,
So they had to cancel theirs and reschedule it for next month. So they came up with, I guess this must have been like the next one on the list. They probably just moved it up or whatever.
Right.
But two Bay Area legends, Too Short and E40 had their verses tonight. I can't say I don't listen to no Bay Area music. It's not like my favorite subset of hip hop though. So I didn't watch it. I forgot till I went into IG and I was like, oh shit, the verses tonight. Whoops.
I know G-Eazy is in the crowd having a ball right now.
Oh god, he probably is. He probably was in the comments wilding. But I think that Club Quarantine, which if you've been living under a rock, D-Nice, who is a hip hop legend in his own right, I just want to put that out there because there are plenty of people who, for some reason, think that D-Nice just came out of nowhere. I don't know what that how, but D-Nice was a DJ and producer and rapper back in the 80s and early 90s. See Exhibit A, My Name is D-Nice. I'm sure you've heard this song before. That is him. He was part of Boogie Down Productions with KRS-One. So he has a long track record, and he's been a DJ for a while now. But he decided he was going to DJ on Instagram and got to, 100,000 followers? I mean, not followers, viewers, which was like the highest number for like a live at the time. And kind of just started like a whole movement because now a bunch of DJs do sets on IG.
Yeah, Twitch
and then Timbaland. What happened?
I know a lot of them have been doing their sets on Twitch now.
Yeah,
That's
everybody's on
the
Twitch
new
now.
thing. It's become the new thing, which is very interesting.
It is, and I think that's like I never paid attention to Twitch before. It's like I knew it existed, but I never really watched. But I started playing a hip hop trivia game called The Questions. Check it out. Usually it's on Fridays. It's kind of late for us on the East Coast because they over in LA. But follow them on Instagram if you want to know more about it. But like a lot of people are doing sets on Twitch now. A lot of famous DJs that you normally wouldn't have access to, like. I regularly used to watch Ninth Wonder and Questlove and everybody, and they would have sets like every other night, And then Swiss and Timbaland started the versus battles first with themselves, and then it just grew in popularity.
Yeah.
And it's been a great distraction for everything that is going on, and also a win for the culture.
And also on top of that, with the whole versus battle, I know a lot of shows and a lot of movies they've been doing table readings, and all of them been raising money for like COVID charities, some for Black Lives Matter charities and stuff like that. Which it was actually a lot of fun to watch. Like I know Scott Pilgrim did one, and it was fun just to see the whole reunion. We had a lot of reunions this year. The Office, Parks and Rec, Scott Pilgrim, Community, which it was great seeing Donald Glover smile. This is like we barely get that, but it was great to see. It was fun to see all of that, and it kind of felt like I was a part of it watching.
Yeah, it's really nice to be like, because honestly, to be completely honest, the U.S. and like celebrity culture is kind of sickening. Like, it's trash.
Yeah.
But it's nice, I guess, if you really like really a fan of somebody and they start doing like Instagram lives where they talk to fans because they're in the house bored,
Right.
you know, or they doing DJ sets or, you know, like whatever the case is. That is kind of cool. But I don't know. Those two things in particular were cool. Club Quarantine's still going. Versus is obviously still going as well. So those two things in the hip hop trivia show are three things that got me through because I found all of those when we were sick and stuck in the house. I didn't have an Instagram, so I was like, well, I'm gonna just create one so I can see what's going on over here. Everybody like they having fun. It's kind of like when you sitting over there by yourself on the bench and everybody else playing the game. You're like, well, I want to play too.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on over there. So I don't know. That was cool. Let me see what else he has here on the list until he comes back. I think he has Zoom on here, which is like okay. It just says
year?
Zoom.
I mean, Zoom,
it blew up.
Like
it existed
kind of
before
blew up. If we are talking about good things, I think it's a game called Among Us. I'm not sure if y'all heard of it.
I know.
We've heard of it.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Yo, first of all, shout out to the development team because they got like a development team of like 4 people. And
damn!
The game came out in 2018. It blew up this year because of everything that's going on. And you know, shout out to the team. They won 2 awards at the Game Awards for Best Multiplayer and Best Mobile Game. So shout out to that team. And I made like a group of friends playing that game that I never met before. I never met in person before. But it's nice to like get on there sometimes. It's like, hey, yo, y'all getting on tonight? And we spend hours playing it. So, you know, I would say it's also a negative to find out a lot of my friends are liars and good at it. That's also a negative.
They imposters.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is? Like the imposter?
Yep. Yep. And it's kind of fun to manipulate friends. It's like, dang, y'all gullible. What else y'all be falling for? Like, I hope y'all not falling for scam calls. Okay. I should have added that on the bad list. Scam calls have been through the roof this year.
Yo, scam likely? I don't know what, but you know what's wild though? Since the pandemic ramped up, they kind of slowed down too. I was like, did the scam likely people get COVID?
You know what's crazy? The reason why I haven't been getting calls because apparently if you type in the number in T-Mobile, it will block all scam likely calls.
Oh.
I forget what the number is. If
I'm
I
about
find
to go
it, I will
Google
let you
that
guys
shortly
know.
after this.
It's like *626 something like that. But yeah, I should have added that in the bad. I didn't think about it. I'm trying to think. I mean, a lot of my good has been through the gaming realm, so that's where
I still have his list here. We can go down the list.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Drive-in movies are back. I think that's good personally.
Yes, I think that's lovely.
Yeah, that was. I actually I was actually trying to go to one, but unfortunately, I think something happened. But I feel like they should have never. I feel like drive-in movie theaters should have never gone away in the first place.
Left year.
Like I think like that should have always just been a thing.
Right.
It would have like I feel like that could have been something cool that could have still been great, but now with COVID and everything, it definitely made a good comeback.
And I love that it's back. I love that it's back. You know, it's a lot safer. You still get to enjoy the experience for the movies, still.
Right?
And it's you know, I don't know. It's better in my opinion. You ain't got to deal with people walking in front of you talking.
Yeah,
you're just in the car.
I mean, somebody could walk in front of your car, but
yeah,
it's
a big enough
real
screen.
fast and scare the shit out of you.
But to watch a movie, to watch it in the comfort of your own car, though, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I may want to do it, but they're all of the theaters are pretty like the places that are showing movies are kind of not far, but it's not near us. Like I think we have places up here that it could be done. Like we could have a drive-in place in Uptown, but we don't have one.
Yeah.
I think the only one that I know for sure that was running constantly here in the city was down at the Navy Yard, which is a nice little ways from here.
I'm surprised they're
literally two different ends of the city.
I'm surprised they're showing him school parking lot.
Oh, okay. I'm back here.
He's back. Let him. You catch your breath for a minute.
Let's
Yeah,
go
okay,
for
yeah,
a
you.
minute.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome
Yeah.
back. We were talking about
Uh,
drive-in movie theaters.
okay. Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. I haven't had a chance to go to any of them, but I am glad that they did make a comeback. Some of the other things I don't know how long y'all talked about it.
We didn't
Yeah,
really touch
we
on them too much, but we talked about Club Quarantine and Versus. You know, I didn't ask if y'all watched the Versus. Did you have any favorites?
Gucci
Oh,
versus
I
Jeezy.
definitely and
Like Gucci and Jeezy.
Yep, that was my favorite.
Erica Badu and Jill Scott
Yo, that was
was
soulful. Like
that was a
Yes.
that like, and I'll never forget
a Queen energy.
like me and my wife, we literally had like a date night for that versus battle, and it was like the
Oh,
whole vibe. Like that versus battle was just a whole vibe.
I loved
Um,
it. Just
I'll
Y'all
tell
need
you.
to talk to him because we ain't watched none of them together.
um
I'll tell you. I'll tell y'all. What was a date night? Teddy Riley and a baby.
Oh,
Teddy Riley.
the listen,
look,
the him and his Wi-Fi's they was calling it.
Mm.
The fallout from that versus was hilarious.
He was doing
Babyface being the shadiest uncle, that was great. He said, I don't
it.
have anybody here with me because social distancing. That
yeah, oh yeah. Yo, his set no his set was messing up. I was like,
Yeah,
come on.
because he was doing the most.
he
Like
was doing so much. Like we didn't need a DJ and
Player.
a keyboard and you had Breon back there dancing looking crazy. Like, sir,
No,
like
yeah.
you doing the most, man.
And
Like we didn't need all that.
uh
Like just play the music and keep it going.
Luda versus
I,
Nelly. I love
Ludacris
that one.
that was a good one.
Nelly was
Nelly was turned.
twisted.
Nelly was on another
He
planet.
just was on.
And
But you
Ludacris
know
looking
what?
like he ready.
Nobody was drunker than Jadakiss because Jadakiss was definitely drunk during his.
Yo. But Ludacris looked like he was about to jump in his little brother fight if if the person swing too hard. I'm like, why are you
He
just sitting there with your arms folded and head nodding
the
the whole
whole
time?
time.
The whole time. I was like, bro, you gotta give me something. I know you can act.
No, I will say Erica Badu and my good sis Jill Scott. That was one of my favorites. The Beanie Man and Bounty Killer one was great. I love reggae and dancehall. So that one was great for me. And I feel like that was the one that set off what like the iteration we have of it now. Because before everybody was trying to do it where they in their house and the other person's in their house, which is probably the safest way,
Yeah. At
to
the
be
time.
completely
It
honest.
was safe for the time.
But the reason that but like that was how dance hall. Like, if you ever been to like a dance hall concert or just to like a dance hall, like
Mm-hmm.
where they playing reggae, that's the energy it brings. Like
Right.
the energy that those two gave, and I think that set it off. Where it's like, all right, maybe we should have people in the same room because we didn't need the Jagged Edge and 112. That was nonsense as well. I think they was the last ones where they was separate. But
Monica and
yeah,
Brandy
I
got on
didn't
my
ask that. I'm
nerves.
sorry. We can go back to driving movies.
No. He ain't no back at nothing. We'll keep moving ahead here. I think another positive thing that we had now, even though Swag may not or Lay Sketch, doesn't really or not really sports his like that. The bubble and the wobble.
The wobble.
They
I
call it a wobble.
That's, why
what
you say
is
like I don't know what it was though?
quick
I
question.
was paying attention.
I listen, Swag.
The bubble is everything with the screens of everybody on the like TV, right? Or like around their
Yeah, in the
arena.
NBA. The NBA when they had
Yeah, that's an excellent idea. I think it's awesome for that for everyone to get a front row seat.
I always try to get in on one of those, but for some reason, either like, I guess like, I wasn't able to do it, or they're saying like, oh, we have enough fans for the web, and I'm like, every time, like literally always try to sign up, especially for playoffs, and it was like, never mind, you missed it. I'm like,
It's like
sheesh.
running out of seats in an online class.
yeah.
Right.
Like, yeah, bro, come on now with that nonsense.
So yeah, the bubbles and the wobbles brought great things such as because we see WWE take the Thunderdome idea from there,
Yep.
and then that was the only sports that was able to find a way to incorporate fans.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, even
But
though they was big mad they couldn't get no coochie.
uh, there's also the things like there was the ongoing social injustice fight that was happening in the wobble.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
They
yeah, I
brought
love that.
they brought the most attention, especially LeBron leading the troop on WNBA side and Sue Bird leading on the what NBA side with LeBron, Sue Bird for the WNBA NBA side, and they both both basketball companies associations have made the biggest impact, which help other sports and other organizations follow suit in forms of protests and forms of acknowledging, what's been happening this past year. But it all started from them. It all started from basketball. So I give them high praise. I especially give them women, high
They
praise
was walking
also.
around with the bullet holes on the back of their shirt. They was
Yeah.
about it.
So
Exactly.
like, cause see, like I'm a basketball head, so you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna watch WNBA and NBA TV. So I'm saying, but if those who don't watch sports too much, because this is a pop culture podcast, do know that the the bubble not only fought for racial justice, then when it came to Chadwick Boseman, they gave honor to that. We'll get to that in a minute. And then, of course, they had the whole purple votes shirts on, and they have registered the NBA this year. Helped register 91% of the NBA to go out there and vote,
Mm-hmm.
where only 20% of the NBA was registered.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Uh,
I
So,
mean, look, you got grown ass men who since retired from the NBA, but they ain't never voted. Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq. I was going to say, Shaq said he voted for the first time this year. Like that was
yeah,
interesting.
that's crazy.
But but they're still not done. Because
Georgia,
they're
we gotta get
they're trying to get Georgia, and you know,
you trying to get what?
Georgia.
they're trying to get
Oh
Georgia.
yeah. Oh yeah. What's going on?
Particularly because one of the senators of Georgia, Kelly Loeffler, is a owner of one of the. I believe she's a part-time owner or of one of the WNBA teams, and had a lot of negative things to say about the WNBA players. Protesting and stuff. Um, Obviously, she's hardcore conservative, and she was actually one of the senators who, when the pandemic happened, was actually gaining more stock in it and protecting her assets. But every time you turn around and people need stimulus check money, she just turned a blind eye on that. So but shout out to the WNBA for leading the coalition to get more people voting, and I know the job is not done for them to try to get Georgia too.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
kudos.
I before I'm not sure if this is on your list. I did want to bring it up though, since we're in like sports territory. I think this will be a good transition. It will be the DC fandom. I think that is a genius way for conventions to go on, especially conventions like what's it called?
Oh, yes.
Conventions like San Diego
Comic-Con?
Yeah, San Diego Comic-Con, because they always have those exclusive trailers that everyone is like trying to like get and understand. But imagine like hearing about that Batman trailer that we love so much, or the Justice League trailer, but we couldn't see it. We just had to read it on a piece of paper. It's like Batman punched the guy to the ground, said I'm vengeance. It's like, that's boring, but we actually got to be a part of that and got to watch it, got all that information, seeing people coming together, getting the main, was it mainline? God, what was the comics with Static and Icon? Is
Mainline Comics.
Yeah, mainline comics. Like seeing them together, that was beautiful to see. I thought that was awesome, and I feel like that should be a step in the right direction for like, if this is going to continue for a while, which I hope not, with this whole COVID situation. That's the best way to do it, and I thought DC knocked it out the park with that.
Oh, they did a great job, because I told my wife, I said, look, you know what Saturday is, right? DC Fandom. I'm gonna be on that joint all day. So I was on that joint all day, trying to react to everything I could, try to do as much coverage as I could, and I felt as though that the way that they hooked it up that way. I think that'll be something that if these events do happen going forward, that'll be good with it. When you have big enough news to do it like that.
Right, and so organized and everything, and I thought it was lovely. I thought it was
Yes.
lovely.
We are also, if you want to say on, saying the nerd stuff like that. Also, can I just say, PS5, Xbox Series X,
Mm.
and Nintendo Switch helped save the mental capacity of so many people this year. Now, granted, you can't. It's hard to get your hands on the PS5 and
Yeah, I was about
Xbox
to say,
Series X.
people are going mental for the to trying to
Yeah,
get the PS5.
but however, I will give credit where credit is due for Nintendo, as the Switch sales have went up this year.
Yeah,
Through
they're
those weeks, they were sold out everywhere.
yeah, I know they sold out PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Oh yeah, they do it with that regardless. That's just a new thing. I'm talking about when we was in quarantine and people that had nothing really to play. The Switch was skyrocketed and sold out everywhere to the point where they had to have a special order to come in from China and everything to bring in more Nintendo Switches, because what was happening with the PS5 now was happening with the Switch over the summertime.
Right.
Sure is.
People was buying the Switch and they were selling them at astronomical prices because they knew everybody wanted a Switch at that time.
Yep.
Mhm.
But like I said, it shows the power of these systems. Like I said, the PS5, like me and you were both blessed and lucky enough to get a PS5.
Yes. That was a
So yeah,
long journey to it, but yes.
like I said,
I'm still trying to get on that train. Still trying to get on that, but
oh yeah, it's like I said, it took me 5 o'clock in the morning and 45 minutes. I'm just like, ugh, it's a lot of work just for it, but it's like right now it's really hard to even attempt to get your hands on any of them right now. But cause I got lucky at mine 3-4 weeks ago, so I was just like, okay, it wasn't a great system, but that was a positive light of having that come out, especially with the Miles Morales game dropping,
Hmm.
and which I didn't even think that was going to come this year. Would you say R&B?
it was perfect timing, especially with Miles Morales game coming out.
It was perfect timing. It was very well done. It was the cultural representation in that game, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that later with my best video.
Yeah,
Games.
yeah. I wanted to bring it up. Also, my main man Ed Boon brought back the '80s in Mortal Kombat this year.
I knew he was gonna bring that up.
Yes, he brought back. We got Terminator, we got RoboCop, we got Rambo, all in a Mortal Kombat game that have had his DLC sales skyrocket through the roof to the point it won him Fighting Game of the Year.
As it should
And
have.
I know I was very excited, especially in May when that news dropped, especially about RoboCop, and then we got the Rambo news in the summertime. So I was like, oh, that stuff was great. Netflix gets a shout out from me because they start playing Oscar worthy movies
Mm-hmm.
and start being counted, which I want to get to later when I talk about the movies. And because it had Unsolved Mysteries made a comeback this year. Any of y'all who are a fan of Robert Second Unsolved Mystery Show back in the day, I recommend you guys check out the Netflix Unsolved Mystery Show. Some of them will keep you up at night thinking like, yo, I can't get this case out of my mind. And that for those who have watched that, trust you all know which cases I'm talking about. But yeah, Unsolved Mysteries made a comeback in 2020, and I thought that was great. My wife just stepped away for a minute, but Tiger King was a thing this year.
Yes, it was.
Tiger
I
King was a
forgot all
thing
about
this
that.
year.
It definitely was a thing, and I feel like it brought everybody together.
I don't know why it did, but it was just hilarious to watch. Everyone was like, you gotta see this Tiger King documentary, yo.
You haven't seen it?
No. I have seen because Lady Sketch started watching it first, and then she was like, "You have got to check this out." So periodically, I was going there and go back and watch. I was like, "What is happening?" I watched like the last 2 episodes with her because she binged like the whole thing in a day.
Like me and my wife, we were pretty much. So she watched an episode first, and then But then she said, now, because she knows how I am, she's like, you know, please have an open mind and just watch it. I watched the first episode and I said, you know what? I think I want to watch more of it because now I'm interested. And it was just it was weird, but then it was just like, but I was just looking forward to seeing more shows. And Carol Baskin did it. That's all.
Yeah.
She did it. She did it. That's all I got to say about that.
Yes, I do agree with that. So along with the talking, like I said, I know I'm trying to go do this. Also, give shout out to two artists. I know if my wife was here, she's gonna criticize for one of them, but still, I want to give shout outs to Beyonce,
Yeah.
and T Swizzle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Black is King and Folklore were some awesome video productions that they put out this year. Now, has anybody seen Black is King?
I have not seen it yet, but I remember your review for it. It was
Yeah,
powerful.
man, that thing was beautiful.
I'm gonna watch it with my family.
But I heard good. But I heard nothing but great things about it.
Yeah, that was. It's a video album. Well, it's a visual album basically for the Lion King. In my personal opinion, Black is King is better than the Lion King.
Whoa, what?
Black is. I'm saying this right now to everybody out there listening to me. Black is King by Beyonce. Her whole visual album is kind of like Moonwalker by Michael Jackson. It's like her whole visual album, which I think is better than Moonwalker, is better than the 2019 live action Lion King movie.
I can believe that.
Okay. Because I was gonna say you're trying to say it's better than the original, but okay.
No, I ain't saying. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not crying jump off the bridge. I said that it's better than the live action Lion King movie. I felt as though this was just so much better. This was because this is what kind of like Kendrick was doing for Black Panther because he did the whole soundtrack. Beyonce did the whole soundtrack for Lion King, and this is the whole visual soundtrack. So Black is King was dope, and I me and my wife watched it. It was great. The Taylor Swift folklore stuff like that. I thought it was very entertaining stuff like that. I know my wife's not a big fan of Taylor Swift, but I don't mind her.
Right.
You know, say she did her visual album also, which I heard rave reviews about, and I was like, so it's like the visual reviews of things when it comes to albums have been really really rampant in 2020, and I was like, so I want to give those two women a shout out because especially Black is King because Black is King was dope. So. I want to make sure all y'all go out there and try to check it out where y'all can. Then if you want to go more into the,
I miss Black is King. I heard it. I had to come in here before I went to get something to drink.
Okay, we want to talk about good Black is King was.
It was fire, and I'm not even a huge Beyonce stan like that, but I just thought it was very well done.
Mm.
I just thought it was very well done, and I love Afro beats. So I was like, I think it's cool that she actually went into like an Afrobeats vibe. Like it wasn't just like Beyonce singing over top of some Afrobeats and that's it. She actually went got people from multiple nations in Africa to dance and sing and everything else on this project, and I thought that was dope. So I had to speak my piece on that. Because I'm gonna keep it all the way real. I love Kendrick Lamar, and the Black Panther soundtrack was cool, but this is what I hoped the Black Panther soundtrack would be.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to definitely go check it out now.
Yeah, and you should check out R&B. Lovecraft Country. Y'all think black skin do horror? Let me tell you something.
Woo!
Lovecraft Country. That's on HBO Max. If you have not seen it yet, do yourselves a favor as this is one of the best TV shows in 2020. Everybody Sunday was filled up watching Lovecraft Country.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, I didn't know how to think of it, but I'm telling you right now, Lovecraft Country is one of the best, if not the best show that I mean, it's going to be debatable, but I've said obviously like that. But in my opinion, Lovecraft Country is one of the best shows that came out in 2020. And, J.J. Abrams and Jordan Peele producing it with Misa Green is directing it and written it. Writing it.
Sorry about it.
I understand that. So yeah, so do yourself a favor. I know, Strike, you start with episode one. Finish this, okay?
Yep, I will.
And R&B, I don't know if you have checked it out yet, but if you have HBO Max, do yourself a favor and check out
Okay.
Lovecraft Country.
Okay, I definitely will check that out too. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
It's a great show. It's well written. It can be a lot. Like if you're not really into sci-fi, I will say it'll be hard to get into if it's not necessarily your like not a genre you typically explore. But
Yep.
I think once you get past the first episode,
Well-
you'll be like into the story itself.
Yeah, the first
I'll
episode was
tell you,
great.
they take a different approach. That this is a 10 episode series, right?
Mm,
Peep this. Each episode, with staying contrast to the whole story, each episode deals with a different version of horror.
Mm-hmm.
There is horror of just being, black in the Jim Crow South, but there's also monster horror. There's also ghost horror. There's also science fiction horror. There's also body manipulation horror. There's all the kinds of horror stuff that you can find in one genre. They do one of those in each different episode as they keep the story going on.
mm,
So I was like, you know what? It ain't just about you may not be in the sci-fi, which is like goes along the realms of episode 2, but you may be in the ghost, which is like episode 3. You may be into like adventure, like Indiana Jones, which is like episode 4. Body manipulation, which is episode 5. You know what I'm saying? So there are different episodes that have a different kind of horror element to it to go along with the story. I think it's beautifully written, and you do yourself a favor to check it out.
I just want to add that I appreciate it because it breaks a lot of stereotypes. As somebody who reads like Octavia Butler, who is a really big science fiction writer, she was a black woman who wrote all science fiction, and it's nice to see it on a larger scale because I've heard so many times from people who are writers or who were trying to get projects made with like black people involved in a science fiction like story that a lot of studios and publishers will be like, no, they didn't want to publish it because one, they thought black people didn't read science fiction at all. And they also, one publisher actually said, black people don't see themselves in the future. So why would we want to do an Afrofuturist book or show or movie?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I just love seeing things like this that smash those stereotypes that is popular with us and then crosses all kinds of race, creed, color, all of that because it's just a good show.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why I appreciate Jordan Peele because he's like, look, I'm making horror movies that could be with anybody, but it's the blacks. So I don't know. I just wanted to put that in there because Lovecraft Country is it's a really well done show. And even if you don't get into it, I mean, I get it, but it's good.
And just to wrap it all up for the good stuff, when it comes to especially the social change that we have been experiencing, how to be an anti-racist hit number 1 this year. I
hope people take heed to the actual book instead of just buying it to make it look nice.
I mean, I hope they are too. I don't think people just buy like, well, I want these book numbers to go up.
I mean, people buy coffee table books all the time and stuff to put in their bookshelf. That's why I'm just saying, read it, implement.
Bubba Wallace somehow got the Confederate flag taken out of NASCAR. Don't know how that happened. We got
that was the most progressive sport that I did not expect.
Yeah,
I was actually shocked by that.
Then we had the first black /
Indian, South
Asian VP elected. Woman.
I gotta do it. We did it, Joe. We did it.
Like shout out to I hope I say her name right, but Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
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 People, unfortunately, you got these clowns out here who make fun of her name. But, shout out to her being the first female vice president ever.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. Just wanted to, ever.
Yeah, I'm happy
Yeah.
about that.
A lot of
But,
firsts in this administration.
And then to top it all off, Smoking Joe won.
Yep.
yes, he did.
What happened?
The JB, Joe Biden. The
Oh,
election.
We can go. He did it.
like Joe Frazier, he did. Okay.
No,
Uncle
but yeah, so that was some of the good I found out.
Did we talk about Tiger King?
Yes, we
Yeah.
did. You left actually.
Why would you do that while I was gone?
I didn't know how long you were gonna be gone.
He set
I
that
just
up.
let me run to the little girls' room. I wanted to talk about it, but it's fine. We don't need to backtrack. Let's go because we already been here for quite a while.
Ain't that long, but okay.